Welcome back to another episode of The Road to 2200. I am 1968. My opponent is 1895, and here we are with some Queen's Pawn stuff. Let's see what they do here. Will they fianchetto? Or will they just play d5? Anything is possible. Ooh, or will they play e6? What? I don't even really know what to say about that. If my opponent plays e6, what is this? What is this class? Is this like the modern? No, I don't even know what to call it. I'm gonna play c4. Like that has to work. I don't know. Are they gonna now do that? Oh, okay. So it's like a weird Benoni, I guess. I think I should push. They take, I take, we trade. That seems right. Okay. I take. And now it seems like they'll push. Now this feels like a pretty straightforward Benoni. I'll play here. I'll play here. I think that's what we're doing. The nice thing about labeling openings, of course, is that it comes with some information rather than just trying to play. And I'm assuming they're going to fianchetto at some point. Yeah, this seems like the right idea. If I want to play e4 at any point, I really do need to get the knight out there to back it up. Probably e4 is my next move. I'm not sure where this bishop is going. I guess that's the question. If the bishop is going to either of these squares, no, I guess if I'm going to play e4, I don't need to worry about the bishop. And I think I should hold off. I think better would be e4. This bishop comes out to one of these squares, castles. Let's just let the bishop here. All right. Generally in the Benoni, when they play a6, they want to play b5, and you play a4 to stop it. So let's make sure that general condition holds true here. Looks like it does. I don't think I want them to be able to just steamroll me with this giant set of pawns. I guess a problem is if they go here. Okay, never mind. I was thinking because these weren't connected, it might be an issue, but it's not an issue. They go here, I take, they take, their rook hangs, and then I get this piece. I get the pawn. I get everything. So they're not going to do that. What else might they do? I won't be shocked to see bishop g4. Doesn't seem like it would do that much. Maybe this knight putting some pressure on seems reasonable. Maybe the fianchetto, which is very common in a Benoni structure. I would kind of assume that. G6 seems like a very sort of obvious move for them to play here. And then I'm going to continue with the plan I was previously talking about of playing e4. There's kind of an issue with that line. How am I dealing with this knight? Because I think, okay, that's kind of weird. They could go there. They could go here. I mean, it's not that weird. It feels like they want to fianchetto, so why don't they do that first? I guess that's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say it's strange to put the knight there. I think that is where the knight goes. I think we're just going to jam this pawn out here. This is backed up again. This is all sort of holding itself together. I'm probably going to go here. Doesn't look like the most aggressive spot for this bishop. This knight will probably end up jumping around to there. That's a pretty common motif in the Benoni. What is that? I don't really understand this idea. Can't go here. It's covered. So what is he doing? Oh. Don't understand that move. He took 2 moves to get there. It's the idea that now if I play here, it could push. So maybe I need to go here first. which I kind of like anyway, so that this can't get pinned. Yeah, I think I'm going to go here first. It's annoying because this bishop is shut out, but that is hopefully going to be temporary. I'm struggling a bit with how I want my pieces. This is I've finally gotten a better hold on the moves of the Benoni, but I don't have a great handle on where my pieces go. So to me, that's that distinction between opening theory and opening understanding. I'm developing my opening theory of the Benoni. I haven't done a good job developing my understanding. So like if I put my knight here, is that good or bad for me, right? Is that trade a positive trade? Is that a negative trade? Do I want to put my bishop here? Do I want to put my bishop here? The bishop just doesn't seem to have great spots. I do want to castle though, so I want to move this bishop and I want to move it now. I think what I'm going to do is go here with the idea of maybe putting the bishop here and setting up for some ideas, you know, potential to do that kind of stuff. Not that I will. Not that it would be impactful. It is a little bit strange to have this set up, but they can't do anything. I guess they could. They could move the queen there, and then I would have to drop back. But that wouldn't be so bad. Then this pawn is kind of sticking out, right? And then the next move is going to be castle, almost certainly. I will say this. I'm a little nervous that I've pulled a lot of pieces away from the defense of the king. That makes me a bit nervous. But I am going to castle anyway. I think I should be fine. Like if they go something like this and this, that's not enough. The queen is boxed in by the bishop. I can bring plenty of things back very quickly. So it's not like it's the end of the world. I guess it's more a question of where does this knight go? If the knight goes over to c4, then yeah, I kind of have evacuated the king side at that point. And is that a good idea? I don't know. Like I said, this is the problem with knowing moves of an opening and not necessarily the ideas. I think I probably want to go here. Trading these bishops feels quite good with these two pawns, especially this pawn, kind of clogging everything. Like this is technically a bad bishop, and it also feels like a bad bishop. So yeah, I think I just go here. And then if they trade, I think I'm jubilant about that. I'm going to go with jubilant. Big word, big happiness, but I think I'm jubilant about that. I can't imagine they would make that trade. That would be... Okay, so either it is idiotic or there is a very specific reason I'm missing. So I don't want to just say idiotic and move on, right? Let's look. Why? Why would they give up that bishop? Now, it might be because they're like, well, what am I going to do anyway? My bishop's feeling constrained. Anywhere I go, the problem is if you go here, it actually is doing something, whereas my bishop is just trash. If they were thinking they're removing this defender, I have 2, potentially 3 things defending it. I don't know. Again, the question is, though, where do I want my pieces and how do I want my pieces? Do I want this knight over here? Or do I want to relocate the knight and take that way and come out here and go here and put some pressure on the king? That looks pretty promising. It's giving up some control of this pawn. And let's say I go here, they go there. I'm regaining control of the pawn. This pawn can now move forward, but then it becomes disconnected. I'm going to take with the knight. And it feels a little weird. Like, my pieces are pretty undeveloped right now. But it also feels like they're kind of in the middle of a relocation project. Okay, so this is guarded twice. I don't need to worry too much about that currently. Queen is sort of eyeing this stuff. But I feel like I can go here. And I've got this if I want it. This knight isn't really doing anything on the square. It feels like it's one of these two squares. And I think I want it on the king's side. That feels right to me. I really like the idea of jumping into here. I don't know if I will, but I like the threat of it. And I may even go here. And say, like, these knights are all going to go wild together. I don't know. And this bishop, I kind of feel like the bishop's going here and fianchettoing. They didn't fianchetto their bishop. And in fact, by going here, b3, I'm protecting this pawn. I'm taking away this spot from anything. I wonder if I should have played b3 first, actually. I wasn't even considering it before, but now I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, b3 looks pretty darn good. The one worry I would have is that it's a backwards pawn, but it's going to be a while before they can do anything about it, right? Like, it's going to be something like moves back, comes up, takes with the queen to keep this a backwards pawn. Or it's still a backwards pawn, but it would be a pawn if they took with the pawn that they couldn't get at. But I feel like my opponent is like close to being okay, but if I get like 2 or 3 moves here, I think I'm winning. Okay, so that does what? That keeps the knight out of here. Okay, I think that's all it does. It does support that, which I don't think they would want to do. So yeah, b3 I think looks strong. If this bishop could immediately go there, I wouldn't like it. There's nowhere this knight can go where I can't then just go here with the bishop. So I'm going to do this. This square is taken care of. Bishop's going here. Everything's connected. There's no more loose pieces. Maybe now the knight goes here. And if trades takes, then this is a backwards pawn I can attack. Okay, I was not expecting that. Do I care? That's the question. Do I care? The only thing that they're threatening is my queen. And the question is this a position where I'm like, I want queens on the board no matter what, or not? So I kind of feel like just moving the bishop here, attacking the knight, they take, I don't know which rook I'm taking with, we'll say this one. What do they do from here? I guess move the knight, play f5, isolate that pawn seems reasonable. And without my queen, it'll be harder to get on these squares. But I think with the knight bishop combo, I should be able to get in there. I guess also I could go here, pull the knight in, kick the knight. Knight goes back. I go here. And it's a very similar position, but I got h3 in. So which way do I want to go? Does it matter? It does take away options in case I'm missing something where my opponent now gets to move their queen the second time and really do great things. Like, let's say they decide to go here and then here. I don't think that does anything, right? I can just play h3. Oh, okay. One thing it does do is if I go here, h3, the knight can jump into e5, which I don't love. That knight is much better placed. So we're going to go here and see what we've got. I mean, the knight still might end up in e5, but it will take longer. Okay, so which rook are we taking with? I think we probably need to take with the f rook. I'm worried that if I take this way and they end up pushing here, this will hang. I mean, clearly not now. And maybe I'm just being overprotective there. I guess the real answer is, where do I want my rooks? Let's think for a moment. Where do we want our rooks eventually? I'm thinking f4, e5 looks fairly strong. If they take and we take, we've got this either strong pawn center or very weak pawn center. Another part of me just wants to play f3 and say, cool, we got a super strong pawn structure. But I think f5 is going to be a problem if I try to take that way. So if I'm going to push the f pawn, I want the rook on f1. I'm thinking I might want the other rook on e1. So I'm going to take this way because I think probably this is the rook structure I want. I might be wrong. This to me is one of the hardest things about playing with rooks, is that you're basically looking into the crystal ball and saying, my experience, intuition, and calculation says this is where the rooks go. And then sometimes you're wrong and it's really bad. And you're like, oh my goodness, that wrecked me. Okay. So now I'm contending with two things. I don't really like the look of either of these for me. I suppose f5 isn't so bad, right? So f5 is met with takes. And then if takes, their pawns are very messy in front of their king. The problem is this would hang. But now because the rook is on the d file, if I just go here, now they can't really play f5. f5 ends up being very messy. This is backed up. And now going in here becomes hard because I can take that way. So I think I go here because of those calculated reasons. But now I can't play f4. Give and take, right? I don't know if that was the right idea then. This position has me kind of mystified. I don't really know what I'm doing. There's a little bit of me that's tempted to play e5. And then, you know, my pieces move to better spots. Say takes, takes, takes here. But then this pawn becomes very weakened, and I don't think I want to do that. Okay, I think that's a really smart move by my opponent. Unless, of course, I can play e5. e5 takes, e5 takes, 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 and nothing at the end. I can push forward, but that doesn't do anything. Do I want to trade? It moves their knight to a decent square. I would allow my knight here, here. My knight comes in there. But now the weaknesses around their king seem much less important. They already seem much less important. They seem even more less important. If I were to go here, let's say they went there and I went takes, takes. Their knight is very well placed, but I can kick it quite easily. So if I go here, where are they going? I don't know. I guess the question is, where am I going? I'm a little bit tempted to do this stuff. I think I will. Okay, I'm going to go here. I don't know if it's right. Oh, it's especially probably not right, because now they can go there. Well, it's the same thing. Then I go here. Maybe they come back. Here, here. Starting to look drawish if we go down that road. I don't know if that's what I want. Another thing I haven't been considering is kicking this knight seems kind of strong. I think I'm taking here, almost certainly. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then if they take this way, I get to play f4. I think f4 is a decent move. Ah, and I can kick this guy before I do that, so this isn't even being hit anymore. Problem is these pawns are very disconnected. I don't want to do this. If I go bishop here, probably the rook just goes to here and says, cool, I kind of wanted to go there anyway. Thank you. But here, here, takes. And then this falls. That is the problem. And if I go here and he comes back, then this is just weak. This is very challenging. And I'm running out of time because I'm trying to be more methodical. Okay, I'm going here. Ooh, there's this check. Does that do anything to me? No, in fact I might take there because that pawn is so weak all of a sudden. Okay, I'm going to do this. If checks, I may just step aside. I'm not entirely sure. I also might take. I really have become enamored with rook sacks, or rook exchange sacks, I should say, when it destroys my opponent's structure. Because I think I pick up that pawn. I think even just walking back picks it up. And then if I get a pawn and a piece for the total destruction of their game, that feels worth it. So this is a big moment. Am I going to do it? I've done it a lot lately. It usually goes bad. Let's just be clear. It's usually a bad idea. But in this circumstance, here, it would also let me carry out this plan. I think I would have to go there first. Looks like either here, either here or here. Oh, yeah, if here, though, then this doesn't work. That is a problem. So I can't carry out that plan. But I could go here, but then he goes here. So maybe this does not work very well. Maybe right now this is not the answer. But if it's not, what is? That looks interesting. Okay, I'm going to move over and say I don't think the answer is the exchange sack. I just don't think it is. Problem is you can go here now. Oh, no, you can't go there. All right, so that seems like the right idea. Pile up on the weak spot. I'm only guarding it with this guy, so I can't go here to attack there. So then that drops. If I go here, they go there. That's kind of annoying. What about here? I don't think that gains me anything now. This is kind of interesting still. Dropping them back. Though then it's like here, and that might just fall. Looking at so many things and none of them seem great. What about here? After this, we take. Okay, I'm gonna go here. The idea is probably going there next. And if my opponent plays bishop c3, I think I can go rook e2. And then go here. I don't know. Suddenly, my position has gone from love this position to I don't know about this position. Like, I feel like I was leading by a fair amount earlier. And I think the bottom line was letting that bishop in was a bad move. In fact, a bad series of moves. Okay. I suppose with the idea of g5. Yeah, I think, especially low on time, this seems like the move. I assume bishop c3 is coming, which is a good idea to disconnect my rooks, at least temporarily. I think in this position, if we get something like this, I might just take that draw. Like, that might be a repetition draw I feel compelled to go for. My pawn structure looks vulnerable. Like, just playing rook e7, rook e8 feels pretty solid. If they can take care of that bishop. Oh, okay. Okay. I guess the nice thing for them now is with these being disconnected, they can just push here and I can't take. I can't not push because of this. That knight has been a real thorn in my side. It's very frustrating. But if they go here and I just go here, they can't. Well, I guess they can take, right? Because then I take and then they come in here. Yeah, so I think this might be the end of the road. Everything kind of falls apart now. Unless I can go here. There. I push, takes. No. Okay, but at least at the end this won't fall after takes. So it'd be like here, takes, and then the knight is not hitting this. But I guess this comes, forks me, and that does end things. So maybe I have this idea. I don't know. Well, now there's back row. So there's lots of stuff happening here. But yeah, I think I go here. It doesn't look great. At least my rooks are connected again. Disconnecting them was a bad thing. I don't know that I had a choice, but it didn't work out, that's for sure. My pawns look bad. Like, just these two pawns alone look so vulnerable. Sure, the rooks can't get them right now, but they just look like they're ready to be snapped up. And this pawn is going to be by itself until I can get this move in. I don't really know what to do here. Here. Yeah, I guess I have to go here. And then if here, then there. Well, we'll see how this works out. A lot of things I could do. A lot of things seem like they go awry. Well, maybe not. Maybe I still can't push that pawn. Okay. That's one more calculation round. The problem is if I go this way, oh, then they can't go there. I'm covering it. Oh, that's kind of phenomenal. And I'm also hitting this. Does that just work? Here. I don't know. Say there. That doesn't work. Go here. Takes. There. I don't know. This seems like that might work. Might be missing something, but I'm also very low on time, so I'm going to go down this road. If they could easily double the rooks, this would be bad. But since they cannot, and I'm controlling the square that they desperately want to get to, and this is a forking square, and this is a forking square, this knight seems pretty darn well placed. And this is hanging on top of all of those problems. So suddenly, I've given my opponent a lot of problems. Is it enough? I'm not sure. That is a whole different question. Because as soon as I move, I give up the square, and now they're threatening this. Oh, wow. Very close to almost just winning. Yeah, like this, if this knight wasn't here, I think that just wins. Because then it's... Okay. Interesting. I have different ideas. If an idea like this, here, I guess it doesn't quite work. Oh my goodness, this also hits here? Oh, this is hitting this pawn. And if I just go here, they can't go there anyway. But then they can go here. I take here. Check, takes, check. Here. What does that look like? Oh my, I'm low on time. If I give up that pawn. Oh yeah, if I give up that pawn. Oh, it's so close to winning. Okay, I don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna have to just go here and say we're gonna say that's the best we can do in the moment. I'm looking at things like takes, check, takes, check, and oh, he can't go there, but he could go there, and then takes, here. One more time. Check, takes, check. There's a mate threat on the bottom rank. If you went there, and I went check, hitting this guy when he moves, I get mated at the end. So I think I need to start with this and hope that my opponent moves to a spot that isn't great, like maybe here. And I think I have a shot at this little idea. Currently even in pawns, and my pawns are worse. That's that's just a fact. But this pawn is hanging, so maybe they'll go like this to guard the pawn. Check. What if they go here, here? Maybe that doesn't work. I don't know. It's very loose. Everything seems loose to me. Like it seems like they're on the verge of collapse and I'm on the verge of collapse. I think this could be one of those games where people are writing in the comments that I didn't calculate well enough. And I agree, but I've put myself on a lot of time trouble trying to calculate well earlier. Another idea is to go here, hitting this, and then threatening the other rook on the 7th. That does also seem quite strong. Oh, they can't go there. What am I talking about? Okay, so they go there, hitting the pawn. So check. Ooh, there's also this idea that I totally missed. Okay, that's kind of critical. What do I go here? And let's say they go here, where they wanted to go the whole time. There's not a lot of choices. Might be the only choice, other than here. Okay, I'm going to go here. I can't go here because I will go there and backing up the piece. Oh, if they go here, then I can no longer go there. All wild stuff. But maybe I go here, put the other rook here, and I can't get mate because of this would be covering the square. This is a wild one to only have a minute left for. Like, I think I'm going to lose because I only have a minute left in a very complicated position where I would like to do lots and lots of calculation. So here, knight. No, they couldn't put the knight there. I would just take here. So if I went here, they would have had to go takes, takes. Then they could put the knight there. And then I think they're fine. Right? Takes, 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 knight. There's no way to chase away from the knight. Yeah, I think I would give up. Like right now, the fact that their rooks are wildly disconnected, I feel like that's my big advantage in this position. Is that I can do something like, okay, yeah. Now the question is, can I put my other rook here? I chase him even farther away. Where would he go? Let's say here. So I'm trying to get mate threats ready. Check here. I think I get out. He's covering there. Yeah, I'm gonna go here. Again, you can't take there because I would take here. So now what? Now where does this guy go? Can't go here. Can really only go here or here. And then I feel like I might be able to mate on the 7th. No, not if there, though. Okay. So that's the one square where they're still kind of in range. But they might go here thinking that maybe now they're threatening and getting some sort of mate pressure. And maybe they are. But I think that lets me go here. Go here. What? Oh, no. Okay. I didn't see that. I don't know how. Okay. That's quite bad for me, right? Because now... Oh, yeah. That probably loses depending on where this guy can go. Because there's this... Okay. No, never mind. It's at least covered. But I can't double on the 7th now. At least not easily. And now my knight has like nowhere to go. I think maybe I can go here, here. Man. And then it's like rook here, here. I don't know. Things seem worse now. Let's see what happens. There's also this idea of going here, and then there is mate. That's kind of shocking. I mean, right now I can take that rook, that knight, but that's in the position. Here, here. I think that's okay. I'm thinking maybe I just go here. Yeah, with no time left, I think this is probably the idea. I don't know if it's right. I'm just grasping at straws here. I just didn't like this idea of maybe getting mated here. But now I'm not backing this guy up, so we could go like... Ooh, we could go here. Threatening mate. But then I can take him. And then he takes me. Okay, it's gonna be a wild, messy end. That's the facts. That's where we're at. Okay, so he goes there. And then I guess I only have one move, so let's make it. And then if here, this would hang, and then I lose it. No, I don't. Again, I take. Whatever, take here. But what about takes? Takes here. I think I'm okay at least. Don't get mated immediately. Hope my opponent gets low on time also, because this is very frustrating to be. Have such a wild time difference. It might not look that much at only 2 minutes, but it feels like a lot. This is something I'm going to really have to think about. Like, you know, I'm really trying to calculate more in these games, but when it puts me in this kind of time pressure, it's challenging. Okay, so we just got to take. I imagine this is coming. I don't think it does much, though. This might come also. That seems like a reasonable move. In fact, that might be a very strong move. Except for he can't do that. But maybe here is fine, too. The point is this knight is kind of stuck. Okay. I think I want to go here and guard this pawn. I don't think I'm ready to just give that pawn up. It's a little scary. Like, I don't know. Is there something you could do to try to mate me? I don't think so. I think it's just a little bit shy of mating material. I do have this check that loses. So we're not going to do that. We're going to keep that in mind, that loses. Okay, I like that. I can now at least extract my knight a bit. Maybe go to here. And I can make that move rather quickly. I like that. I think they're going to go here to try to go here. Then I feel like probably this is fine. I like that their king is trapped. That could be the ultimate difference maker in this thing. I'm going to go here. I think my knight is better placed over here, guarded. Might just go here. Does give up this pawn though. I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to keep this structure in place as long as I can, which is going to be a while for them to like maneuver this knight to hit this. This is the farthest away, and we've almost equalized the time, which is kind of important. What do I do though? I'm at a bit of a loss. Maybe get the king involved. King here, here, here. Yeah, let's bring the king up. Might have been a bad idea for this. Maybe he's got something good. Yeah, like maybe that is really strong. I might just have to go back. Oh, no, I think here I would just trade, actually. Okay, so my opponent's in the red. As soon as it turns red, at least in my mind, goes, bah! Hopefully theirs does too. It's a very nerve-wracking color. Okay, I like it. They're kind of coming for me now. I can't move my king anywhere. This seems good, though. They go here. I come back. Ooh, they go there. That's kind of annoying. But I'm going to go here. The idea is, now I'm hitting this pawn. What are you going to do about this? Maybe I can make something happen. Okay, checking there. I think I just come back. I could actually go here. I think I want to just stay back here and protect this pawn and just stay safe. I guess that doesn't win anyway. Okay, interesting. So they're okay with me taking here. I think that's a mistake. Oof, so low on time. So now I get to go here. We're really cutting everything off. Whew, very nerve-wracking, say that. Okay. Oh, and I can't go there. That would lose. So I will go here and just move for the sake of moving. I've moved out of the pin, which I'm happy about. I'll go back. And I would take a draw here. It's been such a nerve-wracking game that I think up a pawn I would be willing to. Okay, he's not doing that. So I can go here actually. And I think I'm happy with that trade. Oh, this I missed. That I missed. So this looks like a strong move. What if I go here? He takes, it's with check too. Yikes. Okay. I might have messed this up. I'm going here. When he goes here, I can go here. And then he can go there. And then I lose. Oh boy. Oh, and he's hitting this, and I can never leave. I can go here at least. Okay. Man, that's really bad. I think I lost. Which I should not have, by the way. If I lose this one, it's really bad. I think I can go here, though, and take here. But if he goes here, I guess I have to come back to there. Ah, okay. So he's going to take there. I go here. Oh, he's going there. That's clever. Oh, even better. Wow, okay. I think I like this idea. Here and come around that way. So I can come this way. This will follow. Ugh. That stings. Gotta go there. Okay. I think this pawn puts enough pressure to where I get their pawn. And maybe I still even win this game. I don't think they played it right, but maybe they did. Maybe this was just a draw all along. Rook endgames are so drawish. But now they're going to have to give up their pawn for my pawn. And now it's 2 pawns to 1. They might be able to go like this, though. And then I go here. And then they come back. And then I'll go here, though. And then I get this. So that doesn't seem like it works. I just think it would still be a draw. We'll see. I feel like this is a draw. I feel like this is a very eventful draw. Okay, so they went there. I go here. They haven't resolved my passer yet. I think that might be the best move. But no, maybe not, because then I can just get behind the passer. Then they go here, here. Yeah, and I win there. Maybe not win. Maybe that's an overstatement, because they can check this guy enough, but they're too close. Whoa. That was a bold move. That's like coming in for mate. Okay. I'm getting behind the pawn and pushing it, and boy, you better mate me, sir. If you don't mate me, you're in some trouble. I don't think they can mate me, and I don't think they can stop this pawn anymore. Wow, what a big error. Here. Yeah, they can't even get checks because of... I don't know what they were thinking there. I think they turned a draw into a loss. Endgames are hard. But there are some fundamentals. And I don't think they used them. And that's it. Okay, let's take a look. Interesting stuff. I feel like that was like 4 different games in one. Let's see, how much time are we at? Oh my goodness, already 47 minutes. Long video. Okay. So already here, I didn't really know what to do. But I went here. Seems fine. Wait. What? This is... Hold on. Am I so out of it that... I'm forgetting what the King's Indian looks like? I don't know. It might be a long day. Right. This seemed right, though, to go into this typical Benoni structure. A4. Okay. E4. I'm making all the top book moves, which is good. I thought that was theory. But then as we move to here, I'm suddenly out of theory, and now I'm not entirely sure. I know I'm pretty sure I want my knight on C4. This setup looks good, but from here I'm kind of like, I don't really know what to do. Okay, F3 was the computer's move here. It says by far the best. Like they have to go all the way back. But my thought was, boy, if you're willing to trade here, I'm happy. And they do. And I thought that was good. Engine says I should take with the queen. Okay. And then, yeah, it says B3 here. But now I can play B3. B3 here, though, the engine doesn't love. It likes A5 first to kick the knight, then B3. Okay. Or then F4 even. Okay, so this was a dilemma. Do I trade the queen or not? And my initial thought was no. I should save the queen. But I decided in the end that it would be fine, and it was exactly what I thought. It's very drawish now. I had to save the queen if I wanted to have any winning chances. Why did I do this? Oh, because I didn't want to trade here. Okay, the engine likes this trade, barely, but I didn't want to make that trade. But what we did get stuck with was a pretty good bishop, and now the engine says, yeah, black has the advantage. Does not like this f6 move. I didn't like it either. Just get a rook in. f6 is a weird move. Kind of leaves me with some options. But now... Oh, yeah, this is why. And it seemed like a good idea. And my move apparently was wrong. I should have just gone rook e to e1. I didn't think this worked. I thought takes... Oh, it's because I was planning to go this way, I think. And this hangs at the end, which I didn't like. But this also hangs at the end. So I don't quite understand how this works. I guess it's just simply the mantra of, like, rook endings are draws. Like, you're only down a pawn, should be a draw. Okay, I went this way. And now the engine says I'm up 1.7 because I pick up this pawn and I'm way ahead. And I felt it. Oh my goodness, +3 here. So what did I miss here? Oh, that's right. This is where things got really complicated, right? And I was like, I feel like I'm doing great. I've got the open file. I've got the attacks. Am I supposed to check here? What am I supposed to do? Checking was the best idea because they couldn't block with the knight. I was thinking for some reason, I was trying to calculate quickly that they could. And this, I don't know, this does definitely look better for white. This knight is basically out of play. They're going to have to figure something out. I went this route, which just didn't leave me quite as much. It was okay. That was a draw. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you trading down? I got a little spooked, to be honest. Like, all of this, I was like, I don't know. Can they sneak in a mate? The engine says, just play knight c4, then go here, and you should be fine. You're at least pressuring. And here, it's like I gave up any pressure I might have had. It is a dead draw. Okay, so we're working in draw territory now. Can either of us pull something out of draw territory? And now I have. The engine says I'm up 2.5. 2.5. Because that's hanging. Ooh, the engine's not like that. The engine says go up. Go up. Maybe pressure there. I decided to keep it safe. Didn't quite work out. And now, especially after this, the engine is like, what are you doing? You're going to really do a rook endgame that's completely drawn? And I was like, I guess I am. And here, for a brief moment, I thought maybe I'd lost. And then I saw this idea, and I thought, okay, now it's a draw. This pawn will come down. They'll eat it, and it'll be a draw. And he went over here and took that. And I was like, okay, okay. And they went there. And I was like, what? You're just going to let me stick my rook behind the pawn? That is insane, right? They just go here, and I've got some stuff. I can go like here. They come here. I go here. And I don't know, maybe I can pull this out. Like, I don't know. It seems possible. The engine says this is not possible. This is a draw. This seems like a hard draw. But it's a lot easier to draw than, bam, I get to stick my rook behind the pawn and there's nothing you can do. Now it's just over. And that's it. So a wild game. I feel like there's so many takeaways here. One is basics of endgames. You cannot let your opponent put their rook behind their pawn with the king way off. That's game. That's game over. Second takeaway. Rook endgames are very drawish. Like we saw this line here where I'm up 2 pawns and the engine's like, we could draw this. There's no problem. Okay, so that's just a reminder that they're very drawish. Another takeaway. Opening. What? I didn't realize that this is going into the King's Indian. Like, huh? What am I even talking about here? I don't know. Or some Indian at least. I was having a hard time figuring out what was happening. No, that's not. Ugh. My brain is fried apparently after recording several of these. But the bottom line is I didn't have a good understanding of the opening. And then I think my last big takeaway is when we got into the really hectic middle game, I had put myself in a position where even though I had a big advantage, like it was clear to me I had a big advantage, I was A, sort of out of energy, and B, out of time to really be able to calculate this carefully. And in the end, I was not able to pull this one out until we got to a very drawn endgame where my opponent made a grievous error. So lots of interesting takeaways in this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time on the road to 2200.